Hey everyone, how's it going? For today's video, I'm going to give you an in-depth tour of the 2018 Chevrolet Tahoe RST. Now this particular example is a Premier equipped with the optional 6.2 liter performance package, Borla exhaust, big front brakes, and a whole bunch of other options, which brings the grand total to just under $80,000, meaning that this is not only the most powerful production Tahoe ever, it's also the most expensive. My goal for this video is to basically show you all the cool stuff and what makes the RST unique. I'm going to go over the performance data and even take it on a test drive. At the end of the video, I want you to leave me a comment below. Is this something you'd want, and do you think it's worth the money? So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in, start her up, and let her run. So notice the ground is wet. The rest of the video, the ground is dry. I messed up this clip the first time I filmed, and being a perfectionist, I'm shooting it again. But we'll talk about this amazing two-tone color option and some of the features in just a little bit. But like all Tahoes, keyless ignition, so all you have to do is keep the key fob in your pocket within the interior, put your foot on the brake, and hit the dash mounted button to go. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this interior for a second. I have really enjoyed driving this so far. I actually attended the media event in Dallas recently and decided to drive it back to North Carolina instead of flying. So I've had a lot of time to spend with it. This interior color combination is actually called cocoa and mahogany. So dark cocoa portions across the doors, dash, floor, some of the center console. But the mahogany portion is this almost chocolate brown looking color. It is really, really nice and makes the interior look a lot more premium than the standard black or the beige options you normally see in Tahoes. So another one of the optional features is actually the instrument cluster. It has an 8-inch reconfigurable screen in the middle, so you have the driver's information system and all of that good stuff, but you can also change the layout of the screen, which is pretty cool. This is paired to a heads-up display, which beams up onto the windshield. I like how the center portion of the dashboard here just gently flows into the center console. There's nice curvature to it to either side, wrapped in stitch pattern material for a premium touch. There's a giant oversized armrest with a wireless phone charging tray and a lot of storage in there. A couple USB ports, auxiliary port, power outlet. There's 2 cup holders here and another tray with, again, power outlet, USB ports, and a big enough tray to sit an iPhone 6. You know, for being such a big vehicle, the ergonomics are really quite good. Everything is simple, within easy reach. Off to the left-hand side, you have your lane departure warning, lane keep assist, power pedal adjustment, traction control, parking sensors, trailer brake adjustment, as well as 4-wheel drive and your lighting. And there is no shortage of storage space at all. There's big pockets across the console, another large pocket there, smaller pocket there, pretty good sized glove box that's also lockable, and again, this big console. Without a doubt, the coolest feature within this entire interior is the infotainment screen, because if you press this little button right here, the whole screen raises up to reveal a pretty sizable storage cubby. There's another USB port in there, so you can basically hide things away. Really neat. Of course, with the Premier, you get all of the otherwise optional features on other Tahoes, including an excellent Bose surround sound system. I can just ramble on and on and on because there's so much stuff you could talk about in here, but let's go ahead and pop the hood and check out this engine. So if you didn't already know, the RST is the first Tahoe to be offered with GM's new 6.2 liter V8. Now what's cool about this engine is that it's still a traditional pushrod design, but you have direct injection, variable valve timing, and cylinder deactivation, paired with the new 10-speed automatic, which is awesome, by the way. We'll talk about that more when I get on the road. This thing does a respectable average of around 19 or 20 miles per gallon. As far as performance, this thing is putting out 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. That's quite a big gain over the 5.3 liter V8. With the 10-speed, this thing can accelerate to 60 miles an hour in about 5.7 seconds, which is even more impressive considering how big and heavy it is. What's also pretty cool is that this basically was developed by Chevrolet's performance division, and to signify that, there's a little metal placard right here that says Chevrolet Performance. Yeah, so as of right now, if you want a 6.2 liter V8 in your Tahoe, the only option is to opt for a Premier with the performance package. Before the RST, the only way you could get this engine is in the GMC Yukon Denali and Cadillac Escalade. Overall performance and acceleration is one thing, but this engine also allows the Tahoe to tow up to 8,400 pounds, which is quite nice. What's also pretty cool about the performance package is that you not only get the big engine, but you get a specifically calibrated version of GM's magnetic ride control. The RST gets unique 22-inch wheels with black painted pockets and machined face. Really cool looking. And this particular one also has the optional Brembo brake package. So these rotors are 16.1 inches in diameter. They are absolutely massive, and they're clamped down by red 6-piston calipers. So not only are the calipers bigger than a regular Tahoe, but the discs are bigger as well and provide, a noticeable increase in stopping power. If you look closely, it even says Chevrolet Performance with Brembo in the calipers. That's pretty cool. The rear brakes are the same as any regular Tahoe, and the tires are 285/45. So now I'm going to take you on a walk around and basically point out all of the differences that you get with the RST package. I wanted to clarify first though, like I said at the beginning, this particular example is loaded to the max and has a retail price of just under $80,000. The RST package is more or less just an appearance package on top of a regular Tahoe. On this, it's about a $2,600 option. A regular Tahoe four-wheel drive Premier retails for around $65,000. So if you wanted to get that, which already has a ton of features, and then get the RST package, it obviously comes in at a much lower price point than this particular example, which has the brakes, the exhaust, the engine, and some extra goodies. So let's go ahead and start with the front. The first thing you'll notice is a unique grille. Now this grille is a specific design for the RST. Instead of being chrome like a regular Tahoe, it is body colored with black inserts. Even the emblem is blacked out. The headlights have black housings, which is pretty cool. I will say this thing looks especially stealthy in black. Along with black mirror covers, the beltline and surrounding window trim has also been blacked out instead of being chrome like on the regular Tahoe. The door handles are body colored, and the running board trim, instead of being chrome, is black. The emblems are blacked out, and like I said, you have exclusive 22-inch wheels that are black with a polished face. Up top, the roof rails are also blacked out. The rear of the RST is pretty much the same as any Tahoe. The Premier has partial LED tail lamps, and one nice thing shared with all Tahoes, instead of having your rear window wiper here, it's actually concealed underneath the rear spoiler to make things look a bit nicer. And of course, you have the blacked out badging. Before I take this thing for a drive and show you the rest of the interior, let's go ahead and see how she sounds. The option that I must insist on out of everything else on this thing is the Borla exhaust. It sounds amazing. There's no drone, just a nice deep growl when you want it. And to complement the rest of the RST's changes, the pipes are finished with gloss black tips, and I apologize, they're not really glossy right now. They're the only thing that I forgot to clean on this before filming. I'm also planning on filming a pure sound video on this as well, so if you'd like to hear more of the exhaust from different exterior angles to driving clips, I'm going to have that video up soon. Once it goes live, I'll have the link in the description box below. When you're sitting still, there's a rev limiter around 3,000 RPM, so really to truly understand how good it sounds, you need to get it out on the road, which of course we'll do in just a moment, but I'll also highlight that more in my pure sound. Hey guys, so I've been playing this Vikings War of Clans game, and it recently went through a massive update that makes it a breeze to play on mobile. It resembles top strategy games of the 90s and 2000s that we all loved to play, and it even gives you the option to choose your own play style. You can dominate by destroying cities or use your diplomacy skills to rule the world. Play Vikings for only 5 minutes and you'll see why me and over 12 million players have become addicted to it. Support the SobKyle04 channel and download Vikings via the links in the description below and get your initial protection shield for free and my special bonus of 200 gold for a successful start. All right. So like I've mentioned, with the 6.2 liter performance package, you also gain access to the new 10-speed automatic. If you remember, all other Tahoes and Suburbans use an 8-speed automatic. Now, I've driven so many Tahoes and Suburbans over the years, from 4-speed automatics to 6 speeds, and of course the 8-speed. The 10-speed completely transforms the way this thing drives. It's so much more responsive. If you nail the throttle, it finds a gear almost instantaneously. The transmission shifts really quick, making this thing a real joy to drive on the highway. You know, it's easy to pass. It's very quick. Like I said, 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. It's really able to use all of the power that the 6.2 provides. Plus, the 10-speed is able to keep the revs really low on the highway. I think it was around 1,500, maybe 1,1300 RPM or so, which, you know, enabled it to get between 19-20 miles per gallon between Texas and North Carolina, which I consider that pretty good. I used to have a 2003 Avalanche with the 5.3 and a 4-speed automatic, and that thing was averaging 14 miles per gallon on a good day. So I'm pretty impressed with this thing overall. As far as handling, a lot of people are probably going to compare this to the Durango SRT, which just came out not too long ago. It's the new high performance variant, has a 392 Hemi, 8-speed automatic, all that good stuff. But the biggest difference between this and that is that the Durango is more so a dedicated performance SUV. So I've taken it on the track before. It handles really well. It's definitely lighter than the Tahoe is, but the Tahoe and that, you know, the Durango is big, but the Tahoe is a legit full-size SUV. It can tow more, it weighs a bit more, it's got more, you know, rugged capabilities than the Durango does. So as far as a performance standpoint, the Durango is obviously the better choice, but I think for all-around capability and from a practicality standpoint, the Tahoe is definitely the winner in that aspect. Let's do a quick acceleration run from standstill. Wasn't expecting that. My gosh, that's so much fun. It's amazing that we live in a time now where you can do that in something so heavy and big. These brakes are pretty sweet too. I mean, the regular Tahoe brakes, you know, there was nothing wrong with them at all, but this one definitely has a lot more front end bite, which is probably pretty good if you're spirited driving through the mountains and stuff, because again, you're driving a very big, very heavy vehicle, and anything to make you stop better, it can't be a bad thing, but it probably has a benefit in towing too. You know, overall build quality is really good. You get a feeling of solidity when you're driving this thing. Obviously, it's a big, heavy vehicle, but it's very well insulated. It rides nice. It just eats up the miles on the highway. You know, there's padded material where it matters the most, you know, upper door panels, midsections. There's a lot of contrast stitching, giving it a bit more of a premium vibe. The upper dashboard is padded, again, with some stitching. And the seats are really comfortable. They're fully powered, 4-way power lumbar, lots of padding. Depending on the model, Tahoes are offered with either a full bench seat in the middle or these captain's chairs. I personally prefer the captain's chairs just because it gives you a, more of a personal environment. You could put down these armrests and fully recline them, lean them back, pull them forward, whatever you want to do. There's a pretty good amount of interior room back here. Seats, a lot of padding, very, very comfortable. This one also has the optional rear seat entertainment system. So Blu-ray capable and all that good stuff. Widescreen display. Comes with wireless headphones, so you can easily store them in the back seat pockets. And there's an HDMI input, auxiliary input, 2 USB ports. There's an AC, like grounded household plug, and another 12-volt power outlet. This also has a tri-zone climate control system, which can be controlled right there or by the control panel here. Both of the middle row seats are also heated. Up in the headliner, there's adjustable air vents, plenty of LED reading lights, grip handles with coat hooks, and little microphones. So with the hands-free telephone system, everybody can be heard all the way to the third row. As far as interior space, I'm 5'10". As you can see, there's plenty of room left over up top and down below. Climbing into the third row is not hard. The running boards, good opening right there. The biggest thing back here worth noting is that there's not a ton of interior space. There's plenty here, plenty up there, but because of the way these vehicles are, inherently designed with the axle configuration and all of that, this floorboard rises up a little bit higher than some modern crossovers and stuff like that. So children will be more than comfortable back here, but for me, I can sit back here, but it's not the most comfortable. My knees will basically ride up into my chest, and because these seats can't slide forward and backward, you just don't have a whole lot of room. For me, this is the only real downside to the interior, because you have 3 cup holders, you have an extra power outlet, adjustable headrest that you can lower for better visibility, again, the adjustable air vents and reading lamps. It's a pretty nice place to be if you can fit. And one more pan shot of the middle row. Gosh, I really like this leather color. It looks so nice. These optional floor liners cover pretty much everything right here. Really nice design. And you have some extra storage in the bottom console. Now, last but not least, let's go ahead and check out cargo space. Higher end Tahoes come standard with a fully powered liftgate, so opening and closing, pretty handy. Definitely practical when you're carrying a bunch of items. Inside, there's a pretty decent amount of cargo space. Big vehicles should have a lot of cargo space. One thing they did with this generation Tahoe, which came out in 2015, was added this raised upper portion. Now, this raised upper portion allowed for, when you fold down the rear seat, to have flat loading space all the way to the front. One downside with adding this is that you lost a little bit of height to the trunk as far as storing taller items, but it's really not too bad. And if you have some items or smaller items that need to be secured, it's a pretty nice little compartment. Along with the powered liftgate, both the second and third row seats are power operated too, so if you needed to fold them flat to load long items, you don't have to go to the middle row and use handles and go all back and forth. You just go to the right side of the trunk area and operate these buttons. So with the third row, for example, that's pretty nice. When it comes to the second row, you can not only fold them both flat, but you can also tumble them from back here. Some extra amenities include cargo tie downs across either side, and you guessed it, another power outlet. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look on the 2018 Chevrolet Tahoe RST. Be sure to leave me your feedback in the comments below. Are you enjoying these in-depth tours? Do you want me to keep doing them? Newer vehicles, older vehicles? And if you do enjoy them, let me know how I can improve them over time. If you haven't already, leave a like below. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to. There's always a lot more where that came from. Take care, everyone.